Have you ever asked yourself, why do I need to go to the gym? If you haven't, you probably have heard someone else say that. Why do we need gyms? If we were just more active outside in our regular life, we wouldn't need to go to the gym. Yeah, that's probably true for the most part, but there's actually a little bit more to it than just we need to be more active and the gym isn't necessary to do that. So in this video, I want to talk about why the gym is so important and will frankly always be very important. So let's address the number one myth around the gym, which is from both sides of the spectrum. So a lot of people believe this, and a lot of personal trainers actually don't fully understand the full answer to this. And it's why is the gym important? Is it because it helps us offset our inactivity from our daily lives by coming in and doing a certain amount of activity, a certain variety of activity that basically makes it so that it's okay to sit in the desk for 8 to 10 hours a day because I go in the gym and I do this for 30 to 60 minutes. That's kind of true, but it is not the complete picture. So yes, we are very inactive in our average lifestyles nowadays. We basically are sitting at desk when we're in grade school, we're sitting at desk when we're at work, we're sitting in a chair when we're in the car, traveling to and fro, and we're sitting at a table, we're sitting in a recliner, we're sitting on a couch while we are at home. And when we are not sitting down, how many of us are running to the next place we're going? No, we're walking. So very rarely in our average life are we doing anything other than sitting down or walking. So that is a big reason why gyms or exercise is so important. But it's not just the gym as a place to get in your activity, because you could go biking, you could go running, you could do calisthenics with your body weight at a playground like some of these guys do nowadays. You could do yoga, but what are those actually doing for your entire body? Yoga is not getting you stronger. Running, great for endurance, but it's not improving your flexibility. Biking, again, great for endurance, but not going to get you stronger, not going to get you more flexible. So having an activity that you like to do and doing it on a regular basis is good, but it's only going to be good for one, maybe two things. Even weightlifting, people who are into powerlifting or Olympic lifting, there's a good chance you're only getting one or two aspects of your fitness handled by that particular sport. As I mentioned in a video a few videos ago, there are 4 big things that you have to do in your fitness to get the full benefits of being physically fit. And it's taking care of your neuromotor fitness, which is your coordination, your agility, your balance. There's flexibility, making sure your joints have the range of motion that they need. There's resistance training, so making sure your muscles, your joints, your ligaments, all the soft tissues are conditioned and strong enough to support your body in the activities that you like to do. And then there's cardiorespiratory endurance, which is making sure your lungs, your heart, your vascular system has the ability to circulate, deliver all the nutrients and things your body needs, as well as get out all the things that your body produces, all the byproducts that are wasteful and need to get out so that the body doesn't get toxic. So those are 4 things that you need to do, and the reason a gym is such a good place to go for your fitness is because the equipment, and granted, not every single gym, but most gyms have all the equipment you need to do all of those things. So a lot of people nowadays, home gyms are pretty popular, but unless you're making well into the 6-figure range, I can guarantee you have not bought all the equipment you need to make it so that your home gym is as sufficient as a big box gym. So if that's you, kudos, I'm jealous, but there's a lot of equipment that goes into a big box gym so that it is sufficient for making sure that we can adequately stimulate all the joints in our body with resistance training, so that we can target certain types of training to rehabilitate injuries, things that we can't do with our body weight. Like there's only so much body weight stuff you can do to target a muscle, a particular muscle that is holding back your joint, holding back your body from getting full function. So sometimes there are not body weight things that we can do. We need a resistance band. We might even need a person to help us do certain things that are going to target a muscle that has been injured, has something that's been torn. Even certain machines are designed in big box gyms to allow us to safely re-stimulate a muscle group that would otherwise not be safe enough to do something body weight or off of a machine that controls all the direction of movement. So gyms are really important for that reason. They allow us to, for the most part, venture into any of the 4 dimensions of fitness that we are there to do that day. And just to make sure I covered all the bases there, using the examples of if you're into this, you're not getting that. People who are really into calisthenics and body weight training, there's only so many body weight squats you can do before you're just not getting any more benefit. Once you can do 350 when you could only do 300 a month ago, you're no more fit than you were a month ago. Like at some point, you have to start adding weight to train the big muscles and the big joints of the body, like the quads, hamstrings, hips. You're just not getting any stronger. And so if you're only doing calisthenics and you're just working on more and more endurance, you're no longer resistance training that muscle group, and therefore it's just going to be peaked. You have already peaked at your resistance training fitness for that muscle group forever. So unless you just want to stay there forever, that's up to you. But if you want to continue to improve your fitness, you're going to have to start adding a load, which is, again, why gyms are so great. But let's go back to the common myth of the gym is just the place where we offset our daily inactivity by going in and doing something active. That is, for the most part, probably true for most people most of the time, but it is never the complete picture because, as I alluded to a little bit ago, sometimes our body needs really strategic stimulation. For instance, just a few decades ago, if someone came up with the idea that, hey, this person has type 2 diabetes, what can we do to cure it? No one, even in the medical profession, would have thought exercise would be the cure for type 2 diabetes. Like just a few decades ago, doctors were endorsing cigarettes. So that's how little we knew about human health just a few decades ago. So now we know that, wow, actually some of the most powerful treatments that we have for people who have undergone cancer treatments and are recovering post-chemo, or even people who are at risk of developing cancer, risk of type 2 diabetes, people with Parkinson's disease, some of the best, like the number one thing doctors tell these people to do is please go exercise. You need to be doing at least physical therapy. And once you graduate from physical therapy, you need to be doing this type of exercise because that is going to be the best thing to stimulate and strengthen your body so that your body is strong and healthy. Again, just a few decades ago, it would have been like, well, we got to figure out what kind of shot we can give them, what kind of pills we can put in their body, what kind of surgery we can do. Like, no one really realized the power of physical fitness and exercise a few decades ago as it relates to and treats medical issues. They were just like two separate worlds. And really, it's been over the last 2 decades that we've really seen medical and fitness come together to realize just how important both are for each other. So gyms are a place where we basically offset the inactivity of our daily lives, but they're also a place where we're able to do things that we didn't know were possible just a few decades ago. You know, the lifespan of people thousands of years ago was like 30 to 40 years. Like no one was living into their 50s and 60s a few thousand years ago. Now it's like, man, we realize we can get people to stay alive. Can we get them living well? That's kind of the new issue, is like, how well are you living life into your 50s, 60s, and 70s? You know, a lot of these people can't do what they used to love because their body has just fallen apart because they were never taught the importance of exercise or how to exercise, and they never developed the habit of doing it so that they can do the things they love late into their life. So kind of the new avenue in medical and health science is getting people to live better into those later years. You know, we've already got people living in their 80s and 90s, but no one's doing really well at those ages for the most part. So now we're trying to teach people, wow, exercise is so important, and here's the way you do it so that you aren't rehabilitating the things you've injured along the way. You are advancing all 4 dimensions of your fitness throughout your lifetime so that as you age and you naturally do lose some things, you're still well ahead of what you would have been had you just stayed sedentary. So that's kind of to say that like medical science has done a good job of figuring out how to keep people alive, and the new direction that fitness is really going is how to keep people living life to the fullest as they stay alive for these longer and longer years. So I've said also before, paintball is one of those sports that, like golf, we should be able to play it for as long as we can walk. So if you want to enjoy paintball and other sports that you really enjoy, whether you're young or older, there is progress to be made, there are things to accomplish, and if you start right now, you can do it. You can start performing better on the field, better in your sport. You can start enjoying your body more because of what it's able to do, maybe how it looks. Whatever it is about your body, your fitness, your health that is important to you, I promise there is always going to be room for improvement. And if you have questions about that, I'm happy to help. But hopefully the videos that I've done in this series over the last few weeks has at least given enough information out there to tell you what are these 4 different dimensions of fitness that are out there. What are all the movements I need to be doing to make sure I'm hitting all the joints of the body? What are the different considerations I need to make sure I'm giving my body all the stimulation it needs when I'm at the gym? Again, there are so many more benefits than just fitness when it comes to exercise and activity. So if you're active, great, that's an awesome start. It's establishing a healthy habit for the rest of your life. But at some point, you are going to need a gym. And so I highly encourage you to start thinking about, if you don't already have a gym membership, getting one in the future. And if you need someone to guide you on your fitness for the sport of paintball, check out playbetterpaintball.com to see one of my 3 different levels of fitness programs that will give you everything you need from the moment you walk through the door to the moment you leave, so that you know all the stuff you need to do to make sure your body is getting a good stimulus and it's going to transfer to the paintball field. Thanks for watching. Stay fit, stay healthy, and play better paintball.